is regarding one of the most frightening subject that you all generally panic in, that is physics. In couple of days we are going to write NEET, and one subject is there that is going to give you a little nightmare. But today's session, I don't think after today's session you will have any worry about physics. Today we have Ravindra sir, and I myself is Abhishek Chaudhary. We are physics teachers, faculties here, senior lecturers in Goshala, Sri Chaitanya. Sir has produced mentored All India Rank 1 NEET 2023. Sir, your student got 720 out of 720 and you have mentored him all through 2 years. What mistake he did, what kind of worry he had about physics subject, that please give some suggestion to our students regarding this.
Sir, most of the students and many parents are asking me about this. The All India first ranker, who is our student, Mr. Varun Chakravarti, he is just like any other boy. He is just a normal boy. Okay. Means whatever mistakes made by most of the students who are above average or mediocre students, the same type of mistakes he used to do.
So how he got converted from All India topper from?
Only thing is he made his mindset properly, and during the last days of his preparation, he has recollected all those errors, whatever he has made, and he has made them perfect. It means in whatever areas he is doing those mistakes, he has corrected himself with the help of teachers like this. Actually, in today's presentation also, we are going to give some useful tips for the students. Okay, the same tips which we have given to Varun Chakravarti.
So I will suggest all the students to have keep an eye on all the points that sir is going to discuss. All the students generally do the mistake, and the mistake done by All India Rank 1 in its preparation also sir is going to highlight. So please, we will say this and we will learn from this. Here's few points, sir. Some points you can share.
Yeah. So today I would like to focus on the mistakes done by the students. Along with Abhishek sir, we are going to discuss about those things. And our sole aim is to keep you alert during these last days. And after observing these, I hope you won't do these mistakes and you will keep alert yourself. Okay. So the first thing which I would like to highlight is read the question completely till the end. Actually, most of the students, we have observed, they won't read the question completely. So, hurry me, whatever they feel in their mind, they use it to select that option. For example,
one thing I want to discuss with you, sir, also, and with the students also. In our two consecutive grand tests, one same question came. In one grand test, the question had magnetic field in positive z-axis, and in second grand test, it was in negative z-axis. Yeah. And all the deviation of positive negative ions was the question. Many students did wrong in the first. We discussed them. We told the answer to them. In second test, the same question came. The direction of magnetic field was reversed. Many of them did not read the question properly. They were like, this question answer we know. That mistake, as sir is saying, nobody has to do. That's the first thing written here. Read the question completely till the end. Don't presume anything in your questions. Questions itself will tell you what the story behind it. You don't presume it. Read it carefully and then go with it. Yes, sir, please.
And one more thing, Abhishek sir. So besides reading this question completely till the end, we always recommend the students to read all the 4 options.
All the 4 options.
The reason is they may get confused with the first option. They may be trapped.
Exactly. So, don't presume.
So don't presume. So you better read the 4 options completely also. Okay. Anyway, I would like to present one question. So a man runs towards a mirror at a speed of 15 meters per second. Speed of his image with respect to man. So here what happens now? Suppose if he could not read this last word
with respect to man,
there are 2 possible answers here. So velocity of the image with respect to mirror, velocity of the image with respect to man. If he could not read this man, he may go for wrong option.
They will write the answer 15.
Yeah.
Lower classes you are reading this, same object speed and same image speed, But speed, velocity, when you're calculating, we all know it is relative. So with respect to what it is being asked, that is very, very crucial, very, very important. So as sir is saying, you will might turn up like 15 you will take. After realizing, after NEET, you will realize, oh, it is with respect to man, they are moving opposite, answer should be 30, not 15. And that mistake can happen. You know the concept, but still you are doing the mistake. That we should avoid. See, if you don't know anything, one, you're completely blank, we have to accept it. If we don't know, everybody needs involvement. But point is, if you know it and you are doing silly mistake, that is the real challenge you have to face in NEET 2024.
So, sir, Abhishek sir, what we used to alert the students, better to highlight that point.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
sir.
while reading the question, they have to keep the tip of the pen or pencil like this while reading, and whatever key point is there, better to highlight it.
Highlight it.
So,
Make
they
a note
highlight
of
like
it.
that.
All of you, please make a note of this, what sir is suggesting here. So by making this note, sir, Varun also used to do this.
Yeah. Actually, we asked him to do this. Actually, in the beginning, he used to do mistakes. So when we asked him to read the question by moving the pen like this and to highlight the points like this, he has corrected himself. That
Great.
made him to achieve 180 out of 180
180 out
in
of
physics, with 720 out of 720 in the exam.
with your mentorship, sir.
Yeah, not like that. I mean, that fellow has listened to us, and most of the students got 180 out of 180 only by focusing
this.
these things. Okay, right. Yes.
Next one, sir.
Yeah, so you read this one. A wire of resistance 12 ohm per meter is bent to form a complete circle of radius 10 centimeter. The resistance between its two diametrically opposite points A and B, as shown in the figure, is. This is the question. You see here, actually, here the highlighted point is 12 ohm per meter. This was the question given in our recent tests.
Yes,
Actually, what happened? No, the student who did that mistake, he forgot to read this per meter. So what happened? No, so if it is 12 ohm, you know, if total resistance is 12 ohm, it will be
6, 3. And you will take
So 6 and 6, the answer will be
3 ohm.
3 ohms.
But if total resistance is 12 only, 12 is not the total resistance, that is for per meter. And radius is also given, that is also alert point, why it is given.
Yeah.
So for 2 pi r it is 12. This way you have to take. For 1 meter, for 2 pi r you have to calculate total. For 100 centimeter, you have 12 here. Then you will calculate for 10 centimeter what is the resistance, and that will be the net resistance.
Yeah.
This 12 is not the net resistance.
So only thing is, if you miss this per meter, definitely you are going to miss this question. Okay.
Many students will take 3 here.
Yeah. That's what I have observed.
NEET
Majority of the
is
students do
actually,
that.
sir, I think it is the exam of not doing silly mistake rather than what depth of knowledge. you have.
Yes.
Exactly, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So next one. Be careful while dealing a question which has conditions like must be, maybe, can be, or always. So actually in NEET examination, while giving a question, conditional questions he may not give. The reason is, suppose if a condition is given, there are many possibilities to satisfy that condition. But anyway, here I would like to highlight this point. You see here, when a body is thrown into air from the ground, its velocity must be 0 on reaching its maximum possible height above the ground. So Abhishek sir, you have highlighted must be.
That is the point. As sir said, we have to highlight may be there, must be there, always there, not always. I would like to add, sir, into correct and incorrect also. Sometimes questions are asking which of the following are correct and which of the following are incorrect. This must be highlighted, and then you will see proceed according to the requirement. In this question, as sir is saying, whenever you will think generally, that is from your 9th class physics, you're throwing something up, but here it is not showing, question is not saying when the body is thrown into air, upward is not there.
Yes.
So we are not throwing something up vertically. We can send something like this also. This is also thrown into air.
Yeah.
And that way, if you are throwing into air, so at maximum point, horizontal component of velocity will be present, only vertical component will be zero. So here it's not zero, sir.
So it can be like this. Vertical component of velocity 0 means it is valid.
Absolutely.
So be careful. Okay. Next one. Here, so I don't want to give so many questions, but you see the conditions where you need to be very careful. So when a particle is in motion, it can have speed and acceleration. Where it is possible?
This all possibility you have to think, right? Don't presume any one kind of motion, because see, question no one is saying in motion. That can be 1D motion, that can be 2D motion, that can be 3D motion, projectile, circular. If sir it is written 1D motion, it will be different answer.
Yeah.
It is written circular motion, it is different. But motion you have to contain all thought into, all possibilities into your mind. Don't carry it away with one motion, does not mean, because most of the time your mind is occupied with 1D motion. Motion means a straight line, but that is a 9th class concept. Here in NEET, motion means all, even oscillatory motion also you have to take. All motion you will keep in mind, and then you will go and discuss all these things.
So it can have constant speed and constant acceleration. Constant speed and constant acceleration, is it possible or not? You check. You check. Speed is constant, acceleration is constant. So speed is constant means, Abhishek sir.
Sir, if we are taking about circular motion here.
Yeah.
I am taking a circular motion and uniform circular motion we are taking.
Okay.
That is this is this, this is this, this is this uniform circular motion. V is constant. So I will say here speed is constant.
Yes.
Speed is constant. And in this, magnitude of acceleration will be constant. That is V square by R.
Yes.
That is centripetal acceleration. Its magnitude will remain constant.
Yes.
But direction wise it is not constant. Because if you will think here, centripetal is directed vertically downward, that is minus j cap. Here it is directed minus I cap. Here plus j cap. Here plus I cap, and rest all the point the direction will keep on changing. So in vertical, in circular motion, if you are looking at this point, many students think V square by R, V is constant, R is constant. So centripetal acceleration is constant. Acceleration is a vector quantity, and its constant or variation will be decided by direction also. It's not only magnitude.
So what we would like to advise you is, while dealing with vectors, be careful. You can say a vector constant only if both magnitude and direction are constants. So vector is constant if its magnitude is constant and its direction is also constant.
Sir, I think vector is what we say, handle with care kind of thing.
Yeah.
To very soft thing here. Small points will change your answer. So vector, moreover, like all vectors have directions, but all directional quantities are not vectors. So that way, small points. Sir, please proceed.
Yeah. So here you see one more thing. It is the most common mistake which I have observed among the students. So kinetic friction is always less than static friction. You see, my dear children, static friction means Fs. Don't write it equal to mu s n. So static friction is not always equal to mu s n. It is FMS, limiting friction, or maximum static friction, which will be equal to mu s n. So in most of the cases, students are getting confused with these two, sir.
Absolutely.
That's what I observed. And one more thing, kinetic friction, it can be less than static friction.
Always is not right.
Yeah.
Graphically also we can.
Graphical also you can show that.
We can show the impending state, and
Yes.
this will be the graph. And
This is friction versus applied force.
Applied force, and that will be your kinetic friction, which is taking a constant value. But entire range of static friction has a range. We say self-adjusting. It has a kinetic is not self-adjusting. You have got a range of it, and it is not always less than. Kinetic is not always less than static. It is less than the maximum static
friction.
That is the limiting friction.
And one more thing, static friction is self-adjusting. Kinetic friction is not so.
No, that exactly, sir.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Abhishek sir, we have observed the students getting confused with the graph-based questions.
So one common question many kids are having, I hope all of you must also have, how to tackle graph. Is that much mathematical knowledge we should have in NEET to tackle graph?
Sir, they don't require any mathematical knowledge. Actually,
See,
what is the use of graph?
sir, I think this is news to many of the students.
Yeah.
Because
So people
graph means all of you, I am sure all of you must be thinking graph means math. As sir is saying, that much mathematical knowledge we don't need, right?
Yeah. You see, so whenever a graph is given, in my opinion, observe these things: slope of the graph, area of the graph, scale or units, means on x-axis and y-axis, what units are given,
Yes, sir.
and the area, of course, coordinates, means you see here, what is the use of graph? Suppose if a graph is given as y as a function of x, actually in most of the cases we will be getting the required answer while finding dy by dx or area enclosed
Slope
by the
or
graph.
area, yes. Many quantities are, if
Almost.
axis product means area we have to find, axis division means slope we have to find. And as sir is saying, all of students must see this in NEET, almost every question on that basis only. That's why sir said perhaps mathematical knowledge is not needed. Some example we can take, suppose in kinematics if we are taking acceleration equal to change in velocity upon time taken. Now if this we are writing and we have this on y-axis and this on x-axis, so we can go with the slope. Division of axis, that is the slope. Y by x, as sir wrote there, that is the slope. And if we are calculating here AT graph and change in velocity we are calculating, then this is the graph y-axis and this is the x-axis, that will be area. That will come in many of the questions, like impulse also, sir, will come, impulse momentum and force work also. And graph you can write, if I will add something to this, three things will be there. Graph plotting will be one question.
Yes.
Graph information will be one question. One graph is given and you have to go with the information, and graph conversion will be one question. There will not be any fourth question. There are many questions possible, but I think sir in NEET this is ample.
Yeah, he will not go beyond this.
Beyond
and
this,
one more thing, Abhishek sir, usually in most of the books and in most of the question papers, suppose you take pressure versus volume graph.
Yes, sir.
So most of the people know that the area below this graph will be giving you work done, say integral PdV.
Yes.
So in our recent question papers, we have just interchanged.
Oh.
So on y-axis usually P will be given and on y-axis V will be given. No, just we interchanged. What happened? No, students get trapped. They have calculated this area. Definitely it is not going to give you the work done. So be careful.
As sir already told all of you, don't presume. Read question up to last point, all the four options. I think this comes into that category. Yeah. Sir, can you share some of the memory of Varun Chakravarti in this graph question, in mathematical question? Always he had a very good mathematical knowledge.
Yeah. Actually he, whenever a graphical question is given, he used to check what is given on y-axis, what is given on x-axis, and sometimes you see pressure into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square, volume into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter cube, like that.
This we should highlight.
Yeah. Actually, in the early days, he used to focus only on the values, not on the multiples or submultiples. So later we advised him to take care of these things also.
I would suggest all of you must have a note out of this. As sir is saying, these units, just don't see pressure is there or volume is there, in what units they are. Many students we have seen, they have the knowledge, they're not getting the marks because of miscalculation. And when they will do that calculation at home, they will get the answer also.
Yes.
We have to calculate good in NEET, not at home. So.
Okay. So whatever you have derived may not be the correct answer. This is very important.
Absolutely.
So whatever you have done after calculation, whatever you got, it is not the answer what he is asking. So be careful. Let me give an example. Take this one. Two resistances 6 ohm and 3 ohm are connected in parallel, then effective resistance will be what? Here there are two possible mistakes, Abhishek sir. Yes. Usually when two resistances are in parallel, 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2.
Yes, sir.
If he uses this formula, it is 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3. At the end, he will be getting
2, RH2.
1 by R is 0.5 ohm. 1 by R is 0.5 ohm.
And as you're saying, sir, flipping they forget.
Yeah. So definitely the first answer is tempting. So the student has the possibility of
Many
selecting this.
students do that mistake. Many students do that mistake. That exactly point we were discussing now. You know the answer, but you have calculated 1 by r derivation. You have reached at the last 0.5 and you are taking 0.5. So as the sir has suggested you all, whatever you have derived, that is not the question requirement. You have to see the requirement and some change in that derivation we have to do.
So the exact answer is 2 ohms. Abhishek sir, here I would like to mention one more trickish
Yes.
Thing. You see, the answer is 2 ohms.
Yes, sir.
And I have observed some of the students going for option 2.
How, sir?
Option 2 is different from answer 2.
Option 2. Oh.
The answer is 2 ohms. Actually, the students are going for option 2. So option 2 is different from answer 2.
This shows the immense experience you have having. Sir.
Suppose if the answer is 4 ohms, suppose if that 4 ohms is given here, the student may go for option 4.
Option 4.
Option 4 and answer 4.
Because in NEET it is written in numeric 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D is not written. 1, 2, 3, 4 is written. So don't take the question number also. That might sound funny, but as students are doing it, we have to tell you that these kind of mistakes, you have to keep your head calm. And one thing I would like to suggest, suppose you are doing questions in very hurry and some calculation you stuck, then again you have to do from starting, and you are doing question from starting in a calm mind, little slower also. It will take same amount of time. So you cannot calculate very hurry. Don't do it. If you know your maybe 10 questions taking time, next 10 question will be that simple. It will take hardly 5 minutes. So if you know a question, your mind is saying this question I can do, then be little slow in there and solve question properly. And not solving is not all. You have to bubble it properly also.
Yes. Okay, one more thing. You see this question. If two waves of frequencies 300 Hz and 306 Hz superimpose, the number of beats produced would be. So the superimposed frequencies are 300 Hz and 306 Hz. It is very easy question.
So I once say you have created beautiful error questions. Beautiful error. Once looking, what happens in NEET, sir, while looking at the question, we know this to I know. And when your mind says this to I know, and your calculating it fast, you are doing mistake. So please the highlight on the mistake that kids can do on this question.
You see here, the beat frequency is delta n is equal to n1 difference n2. From this, the students are going to get 306 minus 300. It is 6 beats per second.
Beats per second, but option is in
6 beat per minute, 360 per minute. So people usually go for answer 6 per minute
is there. Absolutely.
So we have made Varun to practice these type of questions, sir. That's why he has corrected himself.
I'm sure, sir. 1 second is here, and 1 second will be converted into minute then, and that will be 6 beats divided by 1 by 60. Then it will be beats per minute, and answer will be 360 per minute.
Okay. So be careful while dealing with ratios or fractions. So ratios or fractions, for biology students.
So before we will go on this, sorry to disturb you, I want to ask one question on behalf of all our students. Is only knowledge is enough to take 180 out of 180? Like
Yes.
many students will have the same knowledge.
Sir, actually, you might have seen during these recent times after Corona,
Yes, sir.
NEET physics paper, its standard was made very low.
Very low, sir. Absolutely.
Means
Yes.
actually, if the student is having presence of mind and whatever we are suggesting, if he is alert in these areas, definitely the student with average knowledge even can get 170.
170 they can get.
Definitely. Only thing is, whatever we are discussing today, if he keeps himself alert, not to do like this.
Presence of mind is needed. Knowledge, presence of mind, examination, writing is the art. That art you should practice.
Yes, sir.
Many students who are 180 standard end up getting 130, 135, 140. So,
Sir, during last year for 2023, we have prepared so many student subjects. Sir, here you also prepared so many students.
Yes, sir.
During the test time, they used to get 150 or 160 like that. Some students they used to get 140 even.
140, yes.
And in the final exam, they have got 175, 180 also.
175.
I'm not joking. The reason is Only thing is they have proper mindset and they have presence of mind.
Presence of mind.
I'm highlighting this presence of mind while reading the question.
Beauty of grand test also, sir.
Yeah,
Beauty of grand test discussion, that is helping students to getting 50-70 marks,
Definitely.
at least more in overall. So this question was
so A and B are two wires such that length of A is twice that of B, radius of cross section of A is half that of B, resistivity of A is 3 times that of B, then ratio of resistance of A and B. Actually, my recommendation is they know this formula R is equal to rho L by A.
yes, sir.
So we have RA is equal to rho A LA by A suffix A. Similarly, rho B. So what I recommend while reading this question, you see length of A is twice that of B. My recommendation is LA is equal to 2LB.
That way we should write.
So radius of cross section of A is half that of B. So area of cross section of A is half that of area of cross section of radius, no?
Radius, 4 times.
1 by 4 times,
times
area of B. And the other one is
resistivity
of
rho A
is
3 rho B.
3 rho B.
I mean, this way we have to write
Right.
before putting the values.
I always recommended Varun and all the students to write like this. Unnecessarily what they are doing now. So the ratio of resistances means rho A by rho B, LA by LB multiplied by AB by AA.
This way putting ratios, sometimes 1:2, you will end up putting 2:1. And that happens, that mistake is not saying that you don't know this. You all know this.
Better write this one.
But approach is very important. First write this and then made up your mind, I will substitute A in terms of B or I will substitute B in terms of A, rather than going for ratio. Maybe 5 questions you are doing, 4 you will do right. 1 question there and here, 180 question you are solving at the same time. It's not about your knowledge. It's about your presence of mind. 180 question, you're tired sometimes, and then this kind of mistake can happen. That we have to avoid.
If he writes like this, so actually in the place of LA by LB, simply he can write 2.
2, right.
AA by AB by AA means
4.
You can write 4 here.
Exactly so. Yes.
So what happens now, sometimes the students are doing like this directly and finally they are rechecking it. If he practices this one in the single go, he can do that.
Yes, absolutely. Sir.
It will save his time. So similarly, this one, a stationary shell explodes into 3 fragments with their masses in the ratio 1:2:3. The first 2 fragments fly off at right angles to each other with speeds 2v and v.
This is also ratio question.
Kinetic energy of the third fragment is. Actually, I have observed most of the students taking mass of the original object is m. I never recommend this. I better ask them to take 1:2:3. No, I ask them to take m, 2m, 3m. This will always save the time. It avoids the mistakes.
Fraction you will take m by 6, 2m by 6,
2m by 6, 3m by 6.
Means you are taking it right, but you are taking in fraction. And fraction calculation obviously will take more time. So better you can go with m, 2m and 3m. Yes, sir.
So if it takes like this, you can do problem confidently.
Yes, sir.
It will save his time. Okay. So difficulty in finding orientation and position. Actually, in 2023, some of the students have done this mistake.
Yes, sir.
Actually, one in 2022 also one question is asked. Actually, when a projectile is thrown into air at the highest point, what is the angle between velocity and acceleration?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So orientation is very, very important. For example,
they are asking.
Yeah, the angle of projection. In the case of projectile, sometimes usually that fellow will be giving angle made by the projectile with the horizontal. Not always. He may give angle made with projectile.
Many students memorize formula. And they think every value according to formula we have to put. Every value according to diagram you have to put, not according to formula. If you have a projectile like this, sir, there is a story and that I heard from you. One of some AIR 6 student that she did that.
Yeah. Actually, already ranked 6-1.
Which year, sir?
I think in 2019.
19.
Yeah.
2019, All India ranked 6. That's why I'm saying it is not about your talent. It's not about your knowledge. It's just about presence of mind. All India ranked 6 student. The angle was given with vertical and she took the formula u square sin 2 theta or whatever formula was there. But all those formula has this angle with horizontal. if this is theta, that will be 90 minus theta, and accordingly you have to substitute that values. So always keep in mind data, angle, or here also angle made by light ray, all these angle values are always according to diagram, not according to formula. Formula in physics are not absolute, like riverboat problem also.
Yeah.
They're also according to diagram, you have to see what angle you have to take. So keep in mind, keep a note, angle of a formula is not a fixed thing. We have to take that angle. Every formula is according to a certain diagram. If your diagram changes, your formula will change.
In the recent test also, light ray strikes a plane mirror while making an angle of 30 degrees with the mirror surface, like that
30
question
degrees
was given.
making with glancing angle.
Glancing angle actually.
Glancing angle.
But most of the students took this as 30
This
degrees.
normal angle and angle with normal or glancing angle, that small specific words, specific words you have to know. In TIR also these kind of questions come.
And
Yes,
you know, we have seen one student done this mistake while finding flux also in the recent exams.
yes, sir, I have seen this. Finding flux.
You please highlight that.
In flux, what happens? If you're writing, suppose two formula you have to take for flux. First, I will say, sir is saying, I am writing flux E into A into cos theta. So we have to understand this theta. Again, this is not fixed. Theta is between what? Angle is there. It has to be between two physical quantities there. One is E and one is A. That A is area vector, not area of the surface. Plane is not there. Area is different, area vector is different. So when I am taking one example here, and this is area is this plane. That plane I can name it XY. But area vector will be in Z. And if electric field is like this, suppose this is the electric field. So I am taking angle with area vector, not angle with area. So you have to keep in mind, in magnetic field also this will come. If flux is there, suppose I am saying that magnetic field or electric field is in the plane of body. In the plane of body.
Yes.
So electric field is in the plane of body. So your mind will take plane means both are in the same plane, so angle will be 0 degree. But angle is not with the plane, angle is with the area vector. And area vector itself is perpendicular to plane. So if electric field is in the plane, area vector and this angle will be 90 degree. In the plane, 90. Electric field perpendicular to the plane, then angle will be 0. These are very common confusion are there.
Even in motionally induced EMF also,
Yes, sir.
angle theta where you are taking it is very important.
So how students you suggest, sir, to just get rid of this mistake?
Simply whatever is given, they have to put it on paper.
Means
in it
on
as
paper
a diagram. They have to
diagram
draw the
they have to
diagram. Without, most of the students, what I have to know, suppose you take this question, they are not drawing the diagram. Simply they are presuming 30 degrees is given, it may be angle of incidence. So
a helpful
everything, even
suggestion.
I recommend students, suppose if a body is projected, I ask them to draw a diagram like this. Means they have to visualize it.
Basically, angle question, so always you have to draw diagram.
Definitely, must.
Very wonderful suggestion, sir.
So finding errors. Subjects are, please continue from here afterwards. Actually, I have
sure.
some class.
Sure.
So please continue. Okay, students,
Thank you so much.
take care for our examination. We are trying our best to keep you alert for the coming examination. Wishing good luck, and Abhishek sir will continue. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Ravindra sir, for that wonderful suggestion. I hope all of you are making notes of it. And this slide, this is also given by Ravindra sir only. These highlighted point, I will just elaborate these all. See, one kind of question you can do, orientation and position, that was there. Finding error, that we have completed. Now finding error we will see. One thing you can make a note of, error questions will definitely come. Screw gauge, this year experimental skill is also being added. So screw gauge will be there, or vernier caliper will be there, but error will come. Okay. And that might also come in a spherometer or spectrometer, that is when we are taking the scale on circular 360 degree and all. So finding error, confusion between maximum error and possible error. See, what is maximum error? When we talk about maximum error, many of you know that, sorry, I am writing time period as 2 pi under root L by G, or I am calculating T square, 4 pi square L by G, and from here G is equal to 4 pi square L by T square. I will write delta G by G equal to delta L by L plus 2 delta T by T. Point is, why I am writing 2 here plus? Because T power is to minus, no, T square is in denominator. If I will take that in numerator, power will be minus, but still I am writing plus. So that is the maximum error. Maximum error, when you are calculating error, you will rectify. After calculating error, you will rectify it. So you want maximum error, so that complete rectification will be there. So when maximum error is there, then you have to go for plus. One more thing, if nothing is written, then that is maximum error only. If possible and maximum is not written, that specific adjectives are not there, then you will write maximum only. But suppose question is asking possible error. Possible error, you have to take the actual sign which is there. Plus is there, then plus, minus is there, then minus. Make it note out of it. Maximum error, always plus, don't look the exact sign. Possible error, whatever sign is there, right, and nothing is given, then always go for maximum error. Take a count, students, one question will come. One question will come. Physics paper will be damn easy. Physics paper will be damn easy. Just your presence of mind. Paper is never difficult. It's our approach towards the paper that makes it difficult, right? So you have to be light in your mood, in your mind. Work on your strength. What strength you have. If you are very good at some topic, the NEET also you have to feel that this topic I'm very good at, and this question I cannot do mistake in. Okay. And this identifying type of error. Type of error means sometimes what happens in error question, suppose one error question has come. In that error question, they are writing error expression in absolute error, or they are writing in percentage error, or type of like sometimes significant error, or what, or random error, or zero error is a random error. So which kind of error there are in NCERT? There are many examples given. I don't think NEET will ask you any example beyond that, right? So those examples you have to see. All those examples should be in your mind. So which kind of error belongs to what category? If you have no idea about this, go in NCERT, see all the examples of error, write those examples on that page only. Okay, just very few things. It will hardly take you 5 to 10 minutes. Difficulty while finding time. This is one of the, what you say, negative marking topic. Time period, when it comes, ask your mind to be alert. Now a negative marking question has come. Why I am saying this? See, difficulty while finding time period. Suppose I am taking one example. This is Earth. Okay, take an example, try to understand what is the difficulty. This is Earth. That Earth has a radius r, but this Earth has shrink, angular momentum conservation question, that has shrink to r by 3. Now it has become r to r by 3, and in this entire process, mass remains constant. Mass is not changing. Got it? Mass of Earth remains constant. What is the time period? This time period, new time period for this, original time period is 24 hours divided by n square. N is that fraction. So it becomes r to r by 3, that is 3 is n. So I will write here 24 by n square, that is 24 by 9. Seems very easy, right? But the question setter can take your marks from this question. What I am trying to say, first, see what is asked. Time period is asked. You know this formula, you will take this answer. Suppose question is asking how much is the duration by which length of the day will shorten or length of the day will be longer. So they are not asking time period final now. Now they are asking change in time period. So this formula maybe you know, but if they are asking you change in time period, then you should not calculate this and you will take it. Change in time period, original what it had 24, final 24 by 9, 1 minus 1 by 9. This will be an option, that will also in option. And most of the time you will just carried away with the knowledge I have. I know this question many times I have done. That is the point. Don't presume. Read up to the last statement, last word, all options. First of all, this I am telling you one very intelligent student mistake. What she did, she write here t square is proportional to r cube. Now see, here t is also there, r is also there, but t is proportional to r cube we are writing. That is the Kepler's third law. and that Kepler's law have been given for planetary motion, and we can also use for satellite. Shrinking is angular momentum conservation. That is different law. Your planetary motion that you are taking, that is different law. Mainly which time period to use for what case should be very, very clear. There are many such questions. Suppose I am taking one, orbital velocity in gravitation, just a velocity question I am showing you. All of you know that it is root 2 gm by r. If I will ask you velocity radius proportionality, you will say v is proportional to 1 by root r, that you will say. Then in Kepler's law, that also in gravitation, there you will write mvr is constant, angular momentum is constant. If mass of particle is constant, that is obviously constant, then Vr is constant and V is inversely proportional to R. Now the problem is one mass is moving in an orbit and one case is saying inversely proportional to R and one case is saying inversely proportional to root R. Both are there in gravitation. Which case we should take? So I am highlighting a point that we should know which formula of time period, which formula of velocity, which formula of energy, and make my point here, make my word, energy and total energy, potential and total, just a difference of 2 is there. So these kind of small mistake we can do. I am helping you with this. Use this when you are comparing velocity in the same orbit. Here is one point A and here is one point B, both point in the same orbit, then you will go V is inversely proportional to R. Like elliptical orbit, every point R will be different. But use this when you are actually comparing two different orbits. Like suppose satellite you are comparing, one satellite is here, one satellite is here, R1, R2, that way you will go with comparing of this. Here you will write V1 by V2. So different orbit, under root formula you have to use, same orbit, root you will not use, just inversely proportional to R you will use. So these are the mistakes. So time period comes, many formula in time period are there. Double star time period, that is proportional to R. Satellite time period 3 by 2. Shrinking time period 24 by n square. Shorten, longer. So see carefully. Just don't carry it away with the formula. This is the time period thing and I know the formula. Whose time period, that is also very, very important. Okay. See this. Okay. Now, difficulty while finding time period. After that, see one thing. Be careful with units. Hell of the mistake happens in this. What mistake? Sometimes you are solving, suppose I am saying, I am using RMS velocity. RMS velocity, all of us know that it is root 3 RT by M. Also we know that the T is absolute temperature in Kelvin. What if question gives in Fahrenheit or question gives in Celsius? So that you have to be very careful while opting for option. Formula you will be knowing, everything you will be knowing. But unit in every question, if data is given, some data, some numeric value is given, always see the unit. All should be in same unit, or option they want in what unit. These are the mistakes we should avoid while writing the NEET. See, unit of temperature that I told in RMS velocity. Suppose I am using Charles law also, there also. If I am saying volume proportional to temperature, this I am writing. So this temperature is in what unit, that is very, very important. Work calculation, many where means temperature, all unit you know. That unit also come here. First I will take the third point. Joule and electron volt. Joule and electron volt is going to haunt you in NEET. One question or two questions you can expect on it. Okay, like one question is the photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect H nu pi plus kinetic energy of electron, we are writing EV. Now see, here it is given obviously H nu I am saying, and nu will be given, frequency will be given in hertz. Hertz means you are taking SI joule kind of unit, and this is given in, suppose this is given in electron volt, or it is required, work function is required and option is in electron volt. There you have to convert it into electron volt. And don't afraid of doing calculation in conversion. If your question is asking you in certain unit, you have to, maybe your mind will say, oh, that much calculation I will have to do. There's some topic, they are based on calculation, like atoms. Atoms has nothing, just routine formula. So what they will test you for? So in atoms, there will be calculation, recoiling velocity, their mass of atom you have to take in kg, electron, that 13.6 energy you are taking Z squared N squared in electron volt. So atoms is there, photoelectric, entire quantum mechanics, including nucleus. Do remember, keep in mind, these are the topics that is there to test your calculations only. Because formula wise, there is no competition. Every student is aware more or less about all the formula. So it is not mechanics where concept is very important. So calculation data is given, make up your mind, कि here तो I will have to calculate in a proper unit, see the option, where the unit is required, what kind of unit is required, convert into that and go for this. And don't hold yourself in calculation based. Some topics require calculation skills. This, in this, I will tell you a story of last year student, and maybe if she will see this video, she will laugh at herself also. Jokingly, I am saying, she got 695 and she is studying in JIPMO, Goshala branch. What mistake she did, and that has taken aims from her. One mistake has taken aims and she ended up getting JIPMO. Last year, if you will see, all of you have done PYQ, there is a question that electric field is given, I guess, 48 units, volt per meter, and speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. This is amplitude of electric field of electromagnetic wave. This is NEET 2023 question, and amplitude of magnetic field is required. Very simple question, everyone is aware. That is written here, that is being highlighted. Whenever 10 power, multiple, submultiple, plus minus is coming, there you have to be little 5% slow in your calculation. What our student did, he wrote C equal to E naught by B naught, right? From here, B naught will be E naught, that is 48, B naught is E naught by C, 3 into 10 raised to power 8, that is coming simply 16 into 10 raised to power minus 8. But options were not 16, options were 1.6, right? So to make it 1.6, I will divide by 10, then I will multiply by 10. When I will multiply by 10, I will get 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 7, right? But while in the hurry of solving question, she take 10 raised to power minus 9 there. Now see this. Do you think a 695 student is not knowing this formula, not knowing this concept? Everything she was aware of. What mistake she did? This 10 raised to minus 9 and it's 695, otherwise it would have 700. Maybe the LEM she would have got. So one silly mistake, silly. That's why this point has been highlighted for you. Units, power of 10, joule electron volt, there you have to be little slow. Because you know the concept, everything in your hand, all of the sudden question will slip from your mind. So we don't have to do that, okay? I hope you will keep track of that. Okay. One more question, that is in alternating current. Alternating current is one of the topic that scares many of the student, because you are dealing with scalar quantities which vectorly follows, mathematically follows the vector rules. Like if you are calculating current, so vectorly you will calculate, or calculating potential vectorly you will calculate. I hope you are getting the phasor what I am trying to say. AC is their conceptual as well as calculative. This is the nature. Every chapter has its own nature. We have to respect it and we have to do accordingly. So conceptual as well as calculative. So RMS and peak. RMS and peak is what? In this, many students are confused to what is given. If you're not, good for you, just a simple points to you. Like first, AC source, rated source of 200 volt. Whenever source is given, that is RMS directly. By default, it is what? RMS value. It means RMS value. Any source specification rating is given in RMS, don't convert it then. But if equation is given, equation amplitude is always which value? Peak value. Got it? And one point also I want you to write. Suppose I am saying you that this is peak value. What will be RMS value? RMS value is 200 by root 2. But if in case I say that RMS value here RMS value is 200. RMS is 200. It means V0 by root 2 is equal to 200. Then V0 equal to this multiply by this, that will come 283. I want you to memorize this data because 200 is a very usual data. So you will save your time in calculating. If RMS is given 200, then peak is 283, or 283 is given peak, then RMS is 200. This might look little easy, but generally 200 is a very common data. So you can multiply also, but if it given RMS as 283, you can convert in 200. Keep in mind that 283. So many things you have in your mind, one thing include, and RMS peak value by default given is RMS, and if equation is given, that is for peak value. Okay, so I hope all of you got this idea. Okay, it was just a session not to teach you something, just to tell you what mistake you can do in the strengthen area, in the knowledge that you already have. You have the knowledge, but don't do the mistake. Keep my point. If you have the skill, if you have the knowledge, then conquer the question. If you don't have it, you don't know a question, respect it and leave it. There's no point of taking risk in a question. Don't risk it out. No means no. If a question is saying no, it's no. Respect it. But if you know it, don't do mistake. That is the examination nature of NEET. Work on your strength, completely blank, leave it. But if you know, don't leave it, score it. All the best to all of you. So it was a session. Bye. Blessings. Goodbye.